is a very frontier topics of the 5G, and these topics many of our representatives all over the European countries and the other countries yesterday have represented their precious considerations and suggestions. Here I want to just to look around that 5G is the very important strategy for our Chinese industry and the Chinese government. Many kinds of conceptions we can focus on the 5G. In our opinion, the 5G applications will extend from mobile internet to Internet of Things at the end of 2020. Now the mobile internet compete all of the applications all over of our internet, but in the next future, the Internet of Things will come into our lives and our works all over the world. Internet of Things will prevail the Internet of our days Internet. So we should see that if the Internet of Things occupy all of our lives, our mobile network will can support that kind of applications. I think it is a very challenging problem for us. So now most of countries have outlaid their strategies of 5Gs. Here I can give an example. The European has launched the 5G PPP program since 2030, and the American carrier Verizon has launched the 5G external field test this year, and the carrier has founded an organization of 5G forum. We simultaneously spoke out that they will deploy the 5G system at the 2018 Pyeongchang Winter Olympics. And Japan had found a 5G organization named 5GM, Fifth Generation Mobile Communications Promotion Forum, Japan. Or the 2014, they have pronounced that they will deploy the 5G system at the Tokyo Olympic Games of 2020, and etc. The very important countries and regions all over our world has deployed the 5G and has launched the 5G trials, research, and development. So 5G is the next generation of technology revolution. Now, how about China? China has biggest populations all over the world, and the mobile flux has came very quickly from this year, and in the future, this kind of data will be multiplied and became greater and greater. Here is the detailed data at this PPT. In our conception, in the future, the 5G mostly will occupy our personal applications at the first stage, and then it will occupy the home applications and the office applications at the second stage. And at the third stage, the 5G will occupy all of our social applications. For example, the industry internet, the agriculture internet, the medical applications, and the education fields, etc. The pictures of rights showed 6 kinds of the most important abilities of 5G. This kind of abilities has been coached at their global consensus all over the world. So the next step we should encounter is that the governments and the industries and the representatives of all of the participants should come together. We should talk about the collaborations and cooperations in the 5G field. So, the first step we have came out is that we has launched the cooperation between China and the European countries, between China and the European Commission. So Mr. Ma Ke is our Vice Premier of China State Council. At the last year, he has announced the very important plans of the 5G of China government. According to these plans, we will accomplish our 5G trial at the end of 2030. And what about the MIIT? So, I come from the affiliation unit from MIIT. MIIT now is working at the area of 5G technology. So under the guidance of the MIIT, most of the participants, for example, the carriers, the manufacturers, the terminal devices manufacturers, and the network device manufacturers, and the chip manufacturers, etc., come together, and they are talking about the 5G technology breakthrough in China. So MIIT recently launched multiple research and development programs on mobile-based Internet of Vehicles in cooperation with several local governments. Now, the second step is very important. Under the guidance of the MIIT, my working unit associated with most important participants of this kind of field, we had established a kind of organization of 5G technology named IMT 2020 5G Promotion Group. The algebra is IMT 2020. This promotion group has several branches, has several working groups and branches, which named the Requirement Working Group, Spectrum Working Group, and etc. All of this working group is under the lead of the secretariat of this group. Our participants include the CAICT. CAICT is my working unit, and the China Mobile, the China Telecom, the Huawei Group, ZTH Group, and the Datang Telecommunications Group, and etc. All of the participants is the very important actors and entities in this kind of field. For example, the China Mobile is the biggest and the most huge mobile carrier in our mobile market, who occupies the most of the market rate of the mobile market in our country. And the Huawei Group, which occupies the most of network devices rates in our country. And now it is working and marketing its products all over the world. And most of the countries sees Huawei as the very important corporators now. Under this kind of the architecture, I think we will promote the 5G program very quickly. I think it is possible for us to accomplish the destination of 5G trial at the end of 2020. So this PPT shows that all over the world, the very important organizations all over the world now has launched very important approaches to break through the 5G technology. The ITU and CDPP and the 5G PPP, etc. Divided the 5G deployment, 5G research and development procession as this kind of 5 steps. The first step is standards. 5G standards is a very important problem for 5G development. And the second step is requirement. Mostly points to the technology requirements. The second step is technology. The third step is spectrum. And the end is 5G trial experiments. So from 2030 to 2020, the 5G procession will be divided mostly into third steps. The ITU, under the platform of WRC, has launched the IT program. The first step of the ITU is to present the research. The second step of ITU is to technical requirements, evaluation, methodology, and the proposal. And the last step of ITU is evaluation and the specification. What about CDPP? CDPP has prescribed and released the most important 5G standards now. The first 5G standards it has released is 5G study items. It has tagged these standards R14. R14 means release 14. And the second standards of CGPP is the first 5G standard. It has been released it will be released about at 2018. And next, CGPP will release the very important 5G standard, means the complete 5G standard. If all of these 5G standards has been released, I think the CGPP will lead the 5G standards of this field. Next, the other steps of requirements, technology spectrum, 5G trials, all of these kinds of steps is very important for 5G deployment. What about China? China has launched very important 5G research projects now. Our projects are divided into two kinds of branches. First branch is National 863 program. The second branch is National Science and Technology Major Project. Now, the National 863 program has finished, and the National Science and Technology Major Project superseded the National 863 program. You can see under these two kinds of program, we have outlaid the very important research of the 5G field. For example, according to the National 863 program, we have finished the soft base station test bed and the wave indoor access. This is a very important technology of the 5G field. This kind of technology is the frontier technology of the wireless application all over the world. You can see the National Science and Technology Major Program. We have started to research the 5G standardization and the high-frequent PA for base station and the high-frequency filter for base station, and etc. All of this kind of project is open to participants all over the world. For example, Ericsson, the very important European device manufacturer, and the Nokia, the very important terminal manufacturer of the European. These two kinds of corporations has joined several projects since 2014. Now we have launched the 5G technology research and development trial from the January 7th of this year. On January 7th, 2016, MIIT has launched China 5G Technology Research and Development Trial. This trial is guided by the IMT in the 2020 5G Promotion Group. The Ericsson and Nokia I have just mentioned has joined the China's 5G technology trial already. So our 5G trial experiments is open to European countries. This trial can divide it from two phases. The first phase is technology research and development trial. The second phase is product research and development trial. And this trial also can be divided from into 3 steps. The first step, for example, is key technology trial. The second step will be focused on the technology scheme trial. And the second step will be focused on the system trial. To our plan, we will finish, we want to finalize all of this trial at the end of 2020. At the end of the 2020, I think we will accomplish the 5G commercial deployment. That's the very important, very gigantic an outlook. So if all of this can be achieved, I think the technology revolution will be happened, and our application and our industries will come into the next very important generation. So, what about the China and European cooperation? Here I presented that China and the European has signed 2 very important documents on the cooperations of the 5G field. The first document is the joint declaration of 5G strategic cooperation. It has been signed by European and China's government, European Commission, and the Chinese government. And it was signed on September 28, 2015. The second very important document or agreement is the memorandum of the 5G cooperation between China and the European. It was signed by the MIIT 2020 promotion group and the 5G PPP. 5G PPP is the leading organization of European countries. So, according to these 2 kinds of documents, we, China and the European and China will launch the very important cooperations of the 5G concept, time scheme, basic functionalities, key technologies, standards, spectrum, services, and applications, etc. All of these fields included almost all of the 5G problems and frontier technologies. The MIIT 2020 PG has been launched the international cooperation bilaterally and multilaterally. To the bilateral cooperation, we have signed the very important memorandum of the 5G cooperation between 5G PPP and MIIT 2020 PG. This is the first very important cooperation agreements between China and the European Commission. And what about the other 5G international organization? The 5G Forum The 5G Forum is the very important 5G organizations of Korea. It has been established at about 2013, and the IMT 2020 promotion group has held 2 joint meetings per year and launched 2 projects since 2015 together with the 5G Forum. And we also launched the cooperation between the 5G MF from Japan. Now we are discussing the memorandum or the 5G cooperation between 5G MF. I think in the future, the IMT will sign the very important agreements between 5G MF as soon as possible. And with the NGMN, we have established the liaison mechanism and share 5G research progress. This is the bilateral cooperation. And what about the multilateral cooperation? The multilateral cooperation, we have signed several memorandum between 5 organizations. For example, the multilateral memorandum has been signed at Lisbon, October 2015. The 5 organizations will jointly hold the Unified Global 5G event. This is a very important seminar which will be held this year in Beijing. Next, I will talk about the details of this symposium. This is the symposium plan we want to hold this year. The nomination of this symposium is the first global 5G event. The topics of this symposium is building 5G technology ecosystem. This symposium will be held at May 31st to June 1st, 2016 this year, at Beijing Friendship Hotel. The very important discussion topics will be highlights at 5G system design, 5G air interface, 5G network operation, technologies for 5G terminals, testing technologies for 5G, and 5G vertical industries, and etc. All of the very important organizations I have mentioned now, minutes ago, will be attend this very important symposium this year. What about the future? We have signed the very important cooperation agreements between European and China. How to implement this kind of agreements? I propose some suggestions. First, we should continue to promote equivalent openness in 5G. We suppose that to support more Chinese companies like ZTE to join in European 5G projects and industry organizations, including 5G PPP. To strengthen cooperation in 5G research and development. Propose to launch joint 5G research and development projects between 5G PPP and the major project from 2017. and promote to implement cooperative research of 5G services and applications, and explore the cooperation mechanism in 5G trials to promote the development of 5G and integration with Internet of Things and vertical industry. Third suggestion is enhance bilateral 5G standardization cooperation. Because 5G standardization has just been started, it is urgent to further enhance bilateral cooperation to be win-win. The proposal that MIIT 2020 promotion group and the 5G PPP to organize the bilateral entities to implement a comprehensive and substantial 5G standardization cooperation, especially in 3GPP and ITU. And the last one is strengthening joint research and coordination in 5G candidate frequency bands. Because the unified global 5G spectrum has strategic importance to the development of 5G technology, standard, and the industry. Systematic research and coordination are needed between the bilateral governments and the 5G organizations in order to find unified 5G frequency bands as much as possible. That's all for my representation. There are many kinds of shortcomings and faults in my speeches and in my PPT. If you find that, you can point it to me, and I will rectify it immediately. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.